Howdy. Welcome to First Impressions, where we take a look at an album we've never heard before and give our immediate reactions. Today, we are taking a look at From Zero by Linkin Park, released like 5 days ago. 2024, for anybody that is watching in the future, From Zero is Linkin Park's first album since, I believe, 2017. After the death of Chester Bennington, the band took an indefinite hiatus, and it was very unsure whether they would even make music again at all. They definitely wanted to take as many things into consideration when it came to continuing their music, and thankfully, they decided to keep on doing so. I did a quick little Google search because I didn't want to be stupid and not know, but From Zero actually has a dual meaning. It references the old band's name, and it's also to signify the new beginning that this band has taken, not only with new vocalist Emily Armstrong, but new drummer Colin Britton as well. Obviously, the band is trying some new things with this album, and it's an album that I liked a lot. So let's quit wasting time and get into it. This is From Zero. Starting with the opener and title track, From Zero, and I use that term track very loosely because this is only about 22 seconds. The first 10 seconds actually has this beautiful, choir going on. It's very angelic and quite the interesting way to kick things off. But that only lasts for 10 seconds before we hear Mike and Emily just kind of bantering, and that's whenever she figures out what the name From Zero actually means. Right when that light bulb clicks on for her, she is immediately cut off before we are thrown into the emptiness machine. This single was released back in September, and this is how the band introduced Emily to us, so it was only fitting that this is how we are introduced to the album as well. Emily fits in very well. I remember hearing it. I remember whenever it was released that I liked what she was doing. I liked her cleans, and I liked whenever she gets, kind of gritty. I think that she fits in well with this band. Nothing's really changed in that regard. It was good then, it's good now. I like this song a lot. So not the technical opener, but it's pretty much the opener, and it's a great way to kick things off. Moving to the next track, Cut the Bridge. We get a steady pace for this song. Colin is really beating the shit out of his snare. It's getting its ass kicked on this one. But for good reason. Like I just mentioned, the pace is very steady and it just keeps on going throughout. It stops a couple of times, but for the most part, it just keeps on rocking. The main lyric I take from this song is whenever Mike is saying, "Quit acting like your opinion and the truth are identical." Not much needs to be explained there. I'm pretty sure we've all run into somebody like that before. Another good track, and this record is off to a pretty good start, I gotta say. After Cut the Bridge, we have Heavy is the Crown. So keep in mind that before this album was released, The Emptiness Machine was the only single that I heard. I know that Heavy is the Crown is one of the singles, and now that I know that information, I can see why. This song has an electric synth element to kick things off, and it reminds me of one of their older songs. The name is escaping me, but they have a great blend of that electronic sound as well as the rockin' side. And when we get to that rockin' side, holy shit, Emily screams her fucking ass off. It's near the end, and I believe the lyric is, "This is what you asked for," and yeah, I'm asking for that all the time. Please give me more of that. This is what you asked for. Keep going. Oh, I love that so much. Let's move on. Next up is Over Each Other. This is Emily's time to shine with her cleans because I believe she takes 100% of the vocals with this song. And she doesn't let that time go to waste. She has a great performance on this track. With a song like Over Each Other, I figured that it would be about couples, but what actually ends up being a little twist is how this couple ends up talking over each other. I thought we were talking about getting over somebody, but no, we're not even there yet. You can consider this the talking stage, but the bad talking stage. Over each other. At the end, Mike so eloquently says, "Get your screaming pants on," which sets us up perfectly for Casualty. Yeah, he was definitely right whenever he said "get your screaming pants on," because that's exactly how this song starts. Emily is just fucking, good lord, she is putting her all into these vocals, and that's all you really want to see, or to hear, rather. That opening riff, good god, if that riff was made out of strawberries, I would be having a shit ton of smoothies right now. Thank you, South Park, for that joke. Yeah, this song's fucking awesome. I dig it so much. The verses of this, I think it's Mike that's on the verses. He sounds a little different, but on those verses, it reminds me of Daughters a little bit. If you ever heard the band Daughters, it kind of reminds me of that type of sound. Mixed in with those massive guitars, the sound of this song is just right up my alley. I fucking love this. I can't say it enough. There's one riff on this song that was just like, what is that? That sounds familiar. It goes like da 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 da. Like, I know that riff from somewhere. All you gotta do is add the little tag in at the end. Ba 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 da ba 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 da ba da da ba. That's totally 46 and 2. We'll just call that parallel thinking, or maybe an homage to Tool. But whenever you think about it, there's only so many notes on a fucking guitar, so stuff like that is bound to happen. Whether it was intentional or not, I could care less. Casualty is one that I'm gonna be coming back to a lot. Casualty takes us into Overflow, and a lot of these songs kind of blend in together, so make sure you have that track list ready so you don't get lost. So with the intro on Overflow, it really made me think that the band was going to take a different direction than what they ended up doing, and I'm not the biggest fan of that direction. Is it nails on a chalkboard? Absolutely not. It's just something that I wasn't feeling. Gonna have to take a couple more listens to it in the future to really, gather my thoughts about it, but for right now, it's gonna be a skippable one. After that, we have Two-Faced. This song starts off soft, but it gets heavy in no time. That heaviness is accompanied by some rap elements that we all love Linkin Park for. Emily ends up taking the chorus after Mike is done doing his thing, and this tandem does a fantastic job bouncing off each other. This was definitely a favorite of mine. One lyric that popped out for me is whenever Emily is saying, "I can't hear myself think." She's like whispering to herself that at first before it casually builds into the ending breakdown that we hear.
I can't hear myself think. Stop yelling at me!
That line always sticks out to me because if you're an overthinker like I am, there is never a time where you cannot hear yourself think, unfortunately. Two-Faced, I highly recommend this one. Good track. Speaking of good tracks, Stained. This is probably the fastest that a song has grown on me. Like the first half of this, I was like, I'm not really feeling it all that much. But it's the vocal runs that Emily was doing on the chorus that just hooked me in.
Now you'll stay.
I like that so much. When I first heard those vocals, I was just like, okay, that's all right. And then within the song, it literally got stuck in my head. I was like, wah, wah, bah, 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 bah. You'll be singing that to yourself in no time, I guarantee it. The song surrounding those vocals, all the instruments and whatnot, is something that I need to pay more attention to because those vocals really just stole me away. But nothing was egregious. Everybody did a good job with their respective parts, and what you end up with is a pretty damn good song. Stained. One that quickly, and I mean quickly, became a favorite. After Stained, we have IGYEIH. You want to know what that stands for? Ha, I won't tell you, I'm just kidding. It stands for I Gave You Everything I Had. Wouldn't that be funny if it didn't stand for anything? It was just like, but it does stand for something, and with a song title like I Gave You Everything I Had, you can imagine that there is some aggression behind it. Aggression and power, especially whenever it comes to Emily's vocals on this song because she is tearing it up. Not just with the heavy parts, whenever we hear some of that, scratch in her voice, but even her cleans have a lot of power behind them. You can tell that she is just belting these notes out in the studio, and the end result is definitely something to write home about. The vocal line that Mike is rocking with is pretty interesting. He's doing some ba-ba-ba-ba-da-ba-da-ba-da-ba-ba type shit. The jury's still out whether or not I actually like it, but it's starting to grow on me. Honestly, that'd be some type of shit that I'd do. I'm not even gonna lie. Yeah, I Gave You Everything I Had. A powerful and aggressive track. Moving on to our closer, Good Things Go. A very melodic opening with those clean guitars and Mike's soft vocals. This sets the foundation that the band will eventually build off of. This song has a lot of my favorite lyrics. Emily ends up saying, "It's hard to laugh whenever you are the joke." And Mike does some sick wordplay talking about falling down the stairs while everybody stares. This song talks a lot about adversity. I think in the chorus is, saying that you hate somebody whenever you don't. And whenever people try to help, you end up pushing them away. I found a lot of relatability with this closer. This is a good song, but I gotta say, the ending almost disappointed me because Emily cuts off the vocals very quick and it just feels like the album just ended out of nowhere, right? Right? You're thinking that it's just over like that. However, always put your loop on when listening to albums. Always do that. So yeah, this shit just goes right back into the intro and you got an infinite loop going on with your shit. And I'm always a fan of that. So with that being said, From Zero, a 11-song long album with a 31-minute runtime. In conclusion, fucking love the shit out of this album. I don't really need to complicate it that much. I was very happy with Emily's performance, also with Colin's performance as well as the new drummer. But I am a casual Linkin Park fan, so if you've been here since, Hybrid Theory or From Zero, as we just found out today, then you definitely will have differing opinions. But for me, I think that this sound is one that both old and new fans can get behind. By the way, this was a great performance from everybody involved and a great way to come back after taking a very understandable long time off. So, Linkin Park, let me know what y'all think if you have heard the album and give me any and all recommendations on what we should do next. Y'all be safe and stay tuned.